Yeah. See, there was never a time when matter did not exist. You see? We often think, oh, there was a beginning. You see? Like the big explosion. Yeah, these explosions are happening. Maybe every day in some part of the universe. But this is not the only universe. There are many other universes beyond this one. It's infinite space, you see, which is mind-boggling. But there's never a time when matter started, because Einstein discovered that light, which is the very nature of is, always manifests, always moves. It itself is, but there's always a movement that comes from light, and that movement always appears as time and space.
So that the isness moves in and out of form, then, what you're saying?
Yes.
So whether that is...
It's expressing as form.
Or not, in some ways, being is immaterial.
It's immaterial. Yeah, being always is. And being is who you are right now. Right now, just become very still. I am aware. That awareness is the being we're talking about. It is that which is real. Everything else is relative to it and because of it. I can see you, experience you, hear you, know you, because I am aware. That awareness is. And it produces what I'm aware of, called thought. You see? So I'm aware of the world, produced by awareness, and what I'm aware of. So this consciousness, this awareness is producing all the time, out of itself, movements of energy which appear real, because even the senses are movements of energy. And some people says, but I know it's real because I can touch it, not realizing, of course, that the sense of touch is a sense of touch. It's subject to the sensual expression of awareness. You see? But we make it, oh, it's got to be there because I heard it. Not realizing that hearing is a sense given to us from consciousness. The awareness, but awareness is all. Awareness is complete. Awareness is infinite. It had no time. Now, of course, we cannot understand this with the mind. So the question is now, how am I going to recognize, how am I going to recognize my true nature? You can't. But if you're willing to go beyond everything that you think you know, if you're willing to go into silence, into in total cessation of activity, into that silence, then that silence has the great gift that has been given us. It can recognize itself. You see? And as we allow ourselves to enter silence, and that is our choice, that's the only choice we have. We can choose to be empty. Empty of everything, if only for a minute or two, you cannot be empty for a full day. The mind will explode, it just won't let you. But you can empty yourself for a short period of time, and if you're willing to do that, you'll find that within that short space of time, knowledge will start to come.
What do you mean empty yourself or go into the silence?
Okay. For example, okay, today I felt very, very tired, and for one reason or another. So in the afternoon I said to Sylvia, I'm going to lie down and rest. So I lie down in bed, and I raised my sight to my forehead, which we usually call it the third eye. And I see a small light there, and I just focus on it totally, and my mind is empty of thought. You see? And this is something that we can do. This is not something that's fantastic. Okay? To get to that point of silence, you can just watch your breath, and every time you take an exhalation, for example, say 1, 2, And keep on until you count maybe 50 or 100. Most of the time you won't make it past 20 without the mind coming in. But by practicing that, you're able to enter the void. To enter a state, and when you look inside your own head, really, there's a space there, you look at it. It's just like looking at a board, you know, it's not a black board, it's just something just very, it's a dim light. And as you look at it, you'll find you're not thinking, you just enter it. It's very peaceful, very beautiful. And when you begin to feel that devoid of thought, devoid of everything, you enter that, there is a knowing, a feeling knowing inside you that you are this space, that you are this. You see? That feeling, which is a feeling knowing, it is not knowledge, it is not words. That feeling knowing is the knowledge of being. It is recognizing itself at that moment, you see? It is that very recognition itself will make you understand what you just heard now, just like that. You see? Because as long as you think about something, you create a concept. If you don't know it's a concept, you have made it real. Do you understand? That's what the mind is doing all the time.
Would not the counting be distracting?
No, because what happens is, in the beginning, the thoughts keep coming back, you see? And so when you count 1, and then 2, and then 3, you'll find that after a while you'll stop counting. You know, you might reach, if you can make it 50 or 100, after a while it stops by itself, as long as you're not caught in thinking. If you get caught in thinking, start over again and again and again. And you'll find that after a while the counting itself will stop. But that's a very good question. The counting will stop because it's an activity. And then you'll find what you're left is with the rhythm of your own breath, which is all being done by being, of course. And then even that stops. And then you enter the void. You enter silence. But that's just a method, a technique. Okay? It itself is not, you know, the silence. But it will help you to enter the silence. There's some questions we can explore here. Someone asked me, he said, can you explain what it means when we say there is no one who sees because there is only seeing? Do we understand that? There is no one who sees because there is only seeing. You see, we make two all the time. I am seeing this. Observer and observed. But in truth, there is no observer and observed. There's only observation. Okay? If I say to you, I love you, okay? If that thought, there could be the separation, and I'm saying it to you. But at that moment, the truth of it is, if I'm feeling the love, there is no one loving, there's just loving. There's just love. And that love is being experienced. You see? It's being in the moment. So when there's love, there's no one loving, there's just love.
So it's the words that separate, really, because the seeing is...
The seeing is complete.
The wholeness, the oneness.
Yeah, the seeing is oneness, you see? And if we go beyond the words and you go into the act itself, you'll find, yeah, I'm loving Mike right now, but am I really loving Mike, or I'm feeling love? Because I'm loving myself too. I cannot be loving Mike and not loving me. And so at that point, am I really, or I'm just feeling, or this love is taking place? You see? So at that point, there's just love. There's just seeing. So we're not seeing something, we're just seeing. And that's when we begin to understand there's only one. There isn't God and I, Bhagavan and I, there's only Bhagavan. You see? So there's only that. And when you begin to understand that, you see, it automatically takes you deeper, but at the same time the mind cannot understand that. So moments of silence, moments of utter stillness will make you see that there's no boundary line to that stillness, to that silence. There's no beginning, there's no end, there's no end point to it, there's just is. And then it teaches you, this is everything. There's no one doing anything. You see, there's only oneness doing everything.